Hey, coin collectors! Welcome back to the Old Charles. Today, we're diving into a classic, the United States 1-cent coin from 1976. If you've got one of these pennies sitting in your collection or your pocket, you might be wondering, what's it really worth? Stay tuned, because in this video, we'll uncover everything about the 1976 penny, from its history and mint marks to its value in various conditions. Let's get started. The 1976 1-cent coin is part of the Lincoln Memorial series, which ran from 1959 all the way to 2008. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this coin features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. 1976 was a special year for U.S. coins because it was the nation's bicentennial year, but unlike quarters, half dollars, and dollars, the penny didn't get a special design. It kept the traditional Lincoln Memorial reverse. Here's what you need to know about the specs of the 1976 penny. Composition: 95% copper, 5% zinc. Weight: approximately 3.11 grams. Diameter: 19.05 millimeters. Thickness: 1.52 millimeters. The penny is still primarily copper, which means it has some value for collectors, especially in uncirculated condition. Mintage numbers for 1976 pennies were quite high. Here's a quick breakdown. Philadelphia, approximately 1.5 billion coins. Denver, approximately 1.5 billion coins. San Francisco, proof about 39 million coins. So, the coins are generally very common, which affects their overall value. The value of your 1976 penny depends a lot on its condition. Let's run through the basic grading levels. Good, G, to very fine, VF. These are circulated coins with wear and tear. Most 1976 pennies you find will fall into this category. Extremely fine, EF coins with minor wear but clear details. Uncirculated, MS60 to MS70. These pennies look as if they just came from the mint, no signs of wear. Proof coins, from San Francisco, specially made for collectors, with a mirror-like finish. In general, circulated 1976 pennies are worth their face value, that is, just 1 cent. Because billions were minted, they're very common. However, pennies that are in extremely fine condition or better can fetch more. For example, an uncirculated 1976 penny might be worth anywhere from 10 to 30 cents, depending on the grade. The San Francisco Mint produced proof pennies in 1976. These are much rarer and have a beautiful mirror-like finish. A 1976 proof penny can be worth between $1 and $5 or more, depending on the condition. There's also a 1976 double die obverse penny variety, but it's extremely rare and not widely confirmed. Most double die rumors for this year are actually just die polish lines or damage. Because the 1976 penny is made mostly of copper, some collectors value it for its metal content. As copper prices fluctuate, so does the melt value of these pennies. Right now, the copper content is worth slightly more than face value, but keep in mind it's illegal to melt U.S. coins for their metal. If you're a collector, here are some tips. Look for coins in excellent condition. High grades get the best prices. Keep an eye out for proof coins with their distinct mirror finish. Always verify rare varieties with a trusted expert or grading service. Store your pennies in a dry, cool place to preserve their condition. So, what's the takeaway? The 1976 U.S. penny is a common coin, mostly worth face value in circulated condition. However, uncirculated and proof versions have some collector value, typically ranging from 10 cents to a few dollars. The United States 1-cent coin from 1976 belongs to one of the most iconic series in American coinage, the Lincoln Memorial Penny Series. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait, and it marked a significant shift toward honoring American history and leaders on everyday currency. By 1976, the Lincoln penny had been in continuous production for nearly 70 years, featuring the original Lincoln portrait designed by Victor David Brenner on the front, or obverse side. On the reverse, starting in 1959, the design was changed to the Lincoln Memorial, a tribute to the monument in Washington, D.C., dedicated to Lincoln's legacy. Now, 1976 was a special year in American history. The United States celebrated its bicentennial, marking 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. While many coins received special bicentennial designs that year, including quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins, the penny remained the same, continuing with the Lincoln Memorial reverse design. This decision reflected the penny's enduring symbolism. Abraham Lincoln, as one of the nation's greatest presidents, represents unity and freedom. His image on the penny continues to remind Americans of the values upon which the country was founded. Though the 1976 penny itself wasn't altered for the bicentennial, it remains a piece of that historic year, bridging over a century of American history, from Lincoln's time through the nation's celebration of its birth. When it comes to coin collecting, condition is king, and the 1976 penny is no exception. The condition of your coin directly impacts its value, so understanding how to grade your penny can help you know if it's worth more than just a cent. These coins have heavy wear from circulation. The details of Lincoln's face and the Lincoln Memorial on the back may be worn down or smooth, but the date and major design features are still visible. At this level, the coin shows moderate wear but more detail is preserved. You can clearly see Lincoln's hair and facial features, as well as more architectural details of the memorial. Coins graded extremely fine show only light wear on the highest points. Most of the fine details in Lincoln's portrait and the memorial's columns remain sharp. These pennies have only tiny signs of wear on the highest points. They look almost brand new but might have a few minor blemishes. Mint state coins are uncirculated pennies, showing no signs of wear. These coins have their original mint luster, sharp details, and no damage. Higher mint state grades reflect better eye appeal and fewer imperfections. Proof pennies from the San Francisco Mint have a special mirror-like finish and are struck with polished dies. They are collector coins, often found in proof sets rather than in circulation. Most 1976 pennies you'll find will be in circulated condition, good to very fine, and are typically worth face value or just a bit more. However, if you have an uncirculated or proof coin, it could be worth significantly more to collectors. Always remember, grading coins can be tricky, especially for beginners. Minor scratches, discoloration, or cleaning can reduce value even if the coin looks nice. When in doubt, consider getting your coin professionally graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC.